So the stakes are going to be high this year for your property valuations. More than ever, you're going to want to make sure that the assessments and new values that are given are accurate. And we're very pleased tonight to really have the authority on the matter with us in Keith Erffmeyer. He's brought several members of the staff with us tonight. I'll let you introduce them. But thank you, Greg and others, for coming tonight and being part of us. But let me introduce Keith. He's a guy I've known well for over 20 years, going back to when our wives taught elementary school together. Within the first year after Carrie and I were married, Keith and I got to know each other, and we've been friends ever since. Keith has devoted his entire professional career to the City and County of Denver Assessor's Office, starting as an intern in 1994, and then progressing to a senior level appraiser position and earning a certified general appraisal license. In 2005, he became the commercial section supervisor and later was promoted to the role of deputy assessor and chief appraiser in 2009. He was named acting assessor when Paul Jacobs retired a year ago, and at the end of 2014, Keith was named Denver's county assessor. So please join me in welcoming my friend, Keith Erffmeyer.
First of all, thank you for having me. It's really an honor, a privilege to be able to participate and hopefully provide some education, maybe provide some resources in terms of some individuals. Greg mentioned a client appreciation event. I consider it a taxpayer appreciation event. We were at an event not too dissimilar from this not too long ago, and there was a lot of really positive news, like Greg expressed, and one of my brethren from Boulder County got up and said, "I guess I qualify as the buzzkill to all of this." So I'm going to try and provide a lot of education tonight on how we do things. I understand where there's probably a great deal of mystery behind how we do what we do. We're going to talk about kind of what to pay attention for when the notices come out. Quite honestly, it's possible some of you may already have them in your mailbox. I see some nods of heads, so okay. I do have staff strategically placed throughout just in case something goes awry. But before I start, Greg Feese in the back is one of our principal apartment valuers, and also April Roybal here, Jason Neary, and Kim Lust are also part of the team that I appreciate so much their knowledge and their passion for getting things right. And that's really what we're interested in. We don't have an interest in overvaluing people, quite honestly. It does us absolutely no good. So without further ado, I'll start running through the slides. So, first question, I hope everybody can see it okay. How is residential real property valued for assessment purposes? So we've got what's known as a base year concept. This is under Colorado law. We must appraise all real property every 2 years. I don't think that's a great mystery to you. I'm sure you all wait with anticipation every 2 years for this notice to come. That's important because this year, 2015, the property value, which we determine as the actual value, must reflect the valuation date of June 30th, 2014. I think Greg did a good job of establishing that as the date. Anything that's happened since then, quite honestly, I don't mean it this way, but we don't care about it in terms of the market. I think we can probably all agree the market hasn't gotten any worse since then, so I don't think that's a terrible problem for us this particular time around. But in declining markets, we wouldn't pay any attention to it. In appreciating markets, we also don't pay any attention to it. The base period that we use is the 24-month period preceding that. That's where our data comes from. And this is the box that Greg highlighted on the CoStar slide, and any other all information has to be collected from that base period. The assessment date is a little tricky. The assessment date is January 1 of each year. How the property physically stands as of January 1 is how we value it. However, we value it how it stands as of January 1 as if it were to be valued on June 30th. So if a property is undergoing renovation, or if something happens to that property, unfortunate, late in 2014, we would reflect that on the valuation. New construction is probably the best example I can give. If something's undergoing new construction, we will ascertain how far along it is as of January 1st, and we'll value it as if it, hopefully if we're correct, sold as of June 30th. One more thing, the market approach. We are required under Amendment 1, according to the Colorado Constitution, to consider the market approach only. For most residential property, that's not a big problem for us. Single-family residential, condominiums, townhomes, not a problem. With apartments, I wouldn't say it's a problem, but it gets a little confusing because hey, we understand apartments are bought and sold based on income-producing potential. We understand that. Hopefully, however, the sales amounts reflect that income-producing potential, which would allow us to use the market approach to value those properties. We can, and at times we do, consider gross rent multipliers, competing properties, and the income-producing comparability of those two properties in order to ascertain whether our market approach is correct. Kind of tricky, but we have to use the market approach. We have to use sales, and because of that, that's one of the reasons we put comparables on all the notices that go out in order to demonstrate to you what comparables we've actually chosen to place the final value on the property. We'll get more into that a little bit later as well. There's one thing I want everybody to remember, it's June 30th, 2014. That is the date of value.